All right, let's see what we got here. I guess we clocked in. Hey, what's going on, party people? It's definitely a great pleasure to have you guys here. If this is your first time, welcome. I go by the name of Lespri. I am a spiritual healer. And essentially, as a spiritual healer, what I do pretty much, I help you to become Christ like, Buddha like, or Krishna like. And what that simply means is that, well, what all of that means, because I mean, it's simple, but there's a whole lot that comes with it. Now, what that simply means, but also, what all of that means is that I help you to attain your highest level of consciousness. And I help you to do so by helping you now to become mentally and emotionally balanced. And why do you need to be emotionally and mentally balanced for you to attain your highest level of consciousness? Well, that's because if you are, let's just say, emotionally unbalanced, we know the fucking repercussion of that. Meaning, you never seen someone who's in love. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't do the same thing as if they were not in love. You know what I'm saying? Giving you all giving her all of your money. You know what I'm saying? Washing her drawers, whatever the thing is. But you kind of get the point. In fact, when we call somebody or when we say to someone you're being too emotional, we also acknowledge that there's certain things around them that they do not see. And on that same note, this is very important too. Like, I want you to keep that in mind because in just a little bit, I'm going to be talking about spirituality. So I want you to understand, like, our process of the way we are, the way we function. It's not as physical as it may appear to be. Because for me to know who you are, I have to get to know you. And that means I got to pass through, or I gotta go beyond how good looking or how ugly you are. So it really doesn't matter. Do you get the point of what I'm saying? And this is what we're saying. And anyway, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. So let me go back to what I was talking about before. So yeah, so obviously, so if you're being too emotional, what that means is that there are certain things around you that you don't have the ability to see. And if that's the case, so that's because your emotions have a direct impact on your intellect, and which ultimately would translate into your vision. Because we all see life through our intelligence, our emotions, and our intellect. That's your vision. And this is why your vision, it's your creative reality. I mean, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but listen, man, I fucking love this shit. What the fuck you want me to do? But besides, just so you know, I mean, I'll make sure that you'll get the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? So please bear with me. I know it's part of my introduction, but also as you talk about one thing and it leads to something else, and not to mention me enjoying, like I am eating off of this. Man? I'm feeding myself too. But anyway, just bear with me for a second. It's only 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes in, so you know what you're in for. But anyway. Again, this is all revealing our essence. But keep that in mind once I get to that, spirituality part of my routine. But anyway, so therefore we acknowledged, being emotionally unbalanced. It's not the best. You're not gonna have the best mental clarity. That's why sometimes when you're mad, you might want to walk away. Because it's not the best time for you to make a decision because you're not seeing how as you're supposed to. Because obviously your emotions do have the ability, or does have the ability to throttle. I mean to block your intellect to a certain level. And guess what? The same thing happens if you now saying to yourself, you know what? I see what happens to people when they are being too emotional. As a result, I'm saying to myself, from going onward. I mean, forward, forward on. So you saying to yourself now, I'm gonna be all logical or intellect. When you do that, first of all, you become very rigid. You become very logical, and guess what? There's certain things that's in front of you you're not able to see neither, and that is because that little bit of emotion sometimes it allows you to relate a little bit more to other people. The best way for me to describe this, I always tell people like, if you know the whole the prostitute that was brought to Jesus, and if you remember, if you know that story, then you'll know according to what the law says, this is what you do. Now Jesus, now what he did was adding a little bit of love into these motherfuckers' heart to open up their vision. To open up their vision. So having the highest state of understanding or consciousness implies that your emotions and your intellect must come together. You must be in fucking alignment. Because on one hand you're gonna be too fucking rigid, on the other hand you're gonna be a bitch. There is such a thing as emotional intelligence. That's what you want to become. So when Jesus replied to these motherfuckers, hey, whichever one of you guys without sin or who have never sinned, go ahead and throw the first stone. What is that saying? Is that I do acknowledge what you're saying. Yes, she is not right. Who is all the way right? You see, it's adding more logic to their logics. That's when you need to add a little bit of emotion into your intellect to expand it a little bit. You see that shit all the time with people that came from the ghetto. Like when you take, all right, I'll give you a perfect example. Perfect example. This nigga, Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? This motherfucker was a fucking immigrant. Didn't even know how to speak English. Granted, I got it. He loves America. Hey, congratulations. I mean, I do too, nigga. What the fuck? In fact, not just America. I love the world. Okay. So as a result now, being a fucking immigrant himself, and if you remember he became what do you call that? The governor of California. He was even harder on other motherfuckers. Where was his fucking heart? Now, what was he doing? Wasn't it right? I mean, shit. I mean, depending on who you asking. Don't ask me that shit, because I really don't give a fuck. I honestly don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But it really, when it comes down to, man, people have been doing this for years, man. Like, I'm not originally from here. Like, people have been traveling the world. Like, the world belonged to us to begin with. So that's why, for me personally, I'm not even concerned with those small details. But again, to be considerate, because I understand not everybody's on my level, not everybody sees it that way, and people have their their fucking prides and all that good shit. You know what I'm saying? Keep it up. All I'm saying here is to help you to understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, has he had a little bit of love, a little bit of emotion into his heart? His whole approach would have been different. First of all, I am one of them. Like, for me, if I'm not supporting another immigrant motherfucker, there's no need for me. There's no way I'm gonna go against none of these motherfuckers. I'm one of them. But you know what? But for me to feel that way, or even to be that way, you see, this is where the emotions comes in. right? Me knowing who I am, me accepting who I am, me loving who I am, all of that shit. But anyway, not to be stagnant on that, just to, you know, make a point when it comes to, you know, how important it is. You know, you can't be too logical. In fact, when you are, if you're saying you're gonna be intellect and just choose to be that, well, your intellect is gonna lack more intellect because the emotions, you know, expand your intellect. But anyway, so now, what do I mean by by your emotions and your intellect coming together? So let's just take it up another notch, right? This is all describing, or this is all me letting you know what I do and how I do it. So how do I help you now to become mentally and emotionally balanced, or what do I even mean by that, right? So when we're talking about being emotionally balanced, what I'm referring to is you acknowledging your emotions, you understanding your emotions. Hold up, man. I've been doing a whole lot of talking here. Hold up. Let me get some smoke, niggas. I got my smoke on, man. What the fuck? I've been doing a whole lot of talking for like 11 minutes. But anyway, let's get to it, right? So, what am I talking about here? Being emotionally balanced is for you to acknowledge your emotions. But that acknowledgement entails you understanding what is it that your emotions are telling you, what is it that you're feeling, and not suppress it. So then when you have that connection, then at this point it allows you, if there's any type of blockages, then you have the ability to do it, to remove them. But first, you have to be in connection with your emotions. That's why when you suppress your emotions, you're not gonna have control. It's not having control over your emotions. Suppressing your emotions, it's not. It simply means you don't have control over your emotions. And when you choose to do it that way, this is the foundation. That's the actual recipe for toxicity. And you'll see most people who are toxic, their heart are not open. Those are heart, you know, broken motherfuckers, desperate niggas. So that's what it means, right? And now, when we're talking about, or when I'm talking about being mentally balanced, it's pretty much the same, you know, baseline understanding here, which is referring to now you, when it comes to your mind, for you to be in control or to be conscious of it, then you have to understand how it works. Then you have to understand how is it being conditioned. How is society shaping you? How is it, as you being an American, do you even have the ability to understand, you know, this is how we think over here? Or is it just life to you? Well, let me give you a little bit of bad news. I guess we're already here. If this is just life to you, oh man, you don't have control over your mind. You're just living in accordance to your tribe. What they say go. Not to say you should be a rebel or anything like that. What I'm saying is, if there's gonna be any type of us coming together, it would have to be us coming together, meaning me knowing what I know, and then now I'm being this. But if you don't know, and then you're part of something, I mean, are you even a partner, or are you just part of the program? Do you understand what I'm saying? This is where school can either make you or break you. And this is why I always tell people too, your environment doesn't define you. And that's true. You know what I'm saying? Look at all the people that you see in front of you. the Jay-Z's, the DMX, all ghetto ass motherfuckers, Elon Musk, whoever the fuck. The Donald Trumps, his dad was fucking immigrant, all these motherfuckers. Well, wait, was he? I don't even fucking remember. But anyway, doesn't matter. I mean, I hope you catch my drift. I mean, my drift, though. Do you see what I'm saying? So, this is life. Nothing defines you but you. Now, not to say, depending on where you come from, yes, you will be influenced, heavily influenced. But depending on how strong you are inwardly, you can use that as a stepping stone, as most of us did. We all went to school just to know school's bullshit. But we had to go there, though. Or even to love knowledge. In school they're teaching you knowledge. For me, even when I was doing my fucking undergrad, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was spending most of my time in spiritual things. Although this was like, okay, well, this is what I gotta do. Let me go ahead and do that. But my passion, my heart was in what I'm doing now. Obviously, that's why the school thing don't mean shit to me. You know what I'm saying? Although I have done the school shit, it is what it was when I was going to school. And this is what it is as it is my life. You know what I'm saying? And this is the call that I had to answer. When my guys reach out to me like, yo, motherfucker, what you doing? I'm like, oh, shit. I had to answer the call. Oh, shit. I hate when that shit happens. I gotta warm up some of that shit, so you guys already know. So forgive me for a second. I'm gonna be right. You won't even know. You won't even feel it. Listen, you won't even feel it. All right. So I'm gonna be right back, guys. All right. We got right back to it. Shit. We left like shit. We came back like we never left. So, we just have to get a little bit of smoke. That's all we're saying. I'm down with the smoke, baby. Let's delve right into it. So, what I was talking about before I had to leave you guys real quick, we were saying, how vital it is for you to become, when we're talking about being mentally balanced, right? So, it's pretty much the same baseline understanding in terms of being emotionally balanced, which is understanding your emotions, processing your emotions, understanding what is it that your emotions are telling you, understanding how bad if you hurt, well, nigga, shit, you hurt, right? How bad is it? You got to know that, but at the same time, not to allow your pain, to become your master now, but for you to work with your pain. And it's the same pretty much idea with your intellect. You need to add a little bit of emotions into your intellect because it helps it to be expand. But now when we're talking about being mentally balanced, now you have to understand everything that you come in contact with and what type of influence does that have into your intellect. School shape you a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Your job, all of these things have an impact. Your friends, your culture. You see what I'm saying? So that's why, going back to what I was talking about before, do you notice the people who have the ability to compare and contrast different type of cultures, they have a better understanding of their environment. Their culture too. That's how, like I always tell people, you have to learn how to be an American without being an American. And what that means is, and it's the same thing for me, as a Haitian nigga, I had to learn how to be Haitian and not being Haitian. I know there's a little bit of paradox here But what that means simply is that, well, I was born here. What, it is what it is. But now, in terms of your vision, how you see things, now that's on you. You know what I'm saying? That's on you, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's on me, and that's what I meant. I mean, it doesn't mean, and as being a person too, man, you gotta have the ability to choose. Do you see what I'm saying? Like for me, if I'm talking about the American culture, just to give you like some of the things that I love about it, is the fact that shit, you know what I'm saying? I could go down the road right now and get some Jamaican food if I wanted to, some Mexican food if I wanted to, some Chinese food if I wanted to. So that's something that I love about us. But most importantly, the reason why I love it too is because it is in alignment with the person that I am. If it wasn't, shit, it wouldn't be like, fuck it. Just like there could be other things that is not in alignment with the person that I am. Well, I mean, shit, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? So we're just gonna leave that there. But anyway, just to summarize, pretty much when we're talking about being, to attain your highest level of consciousness, you have to become mentally and emotionally balanced. And for you now to become mentally and emotionally balanced, first, to be mentally balanced, you have to acknowledge and understand how your minds work. And from there, then you understand how is everything that you're being in contact with, how is it shaping you? School is training you to think a certain way. You got to be aware of that because you're going there. I mean, if you're learning, it's one thing to learn and to be, to have some sort of formation. You know what I'm saying? Because they're feeding you. I don't know, man. I mean, anyway, but I hope you get the gist of what I'm saying. So, but anyway, now if you're coming back, you already know, baby, this is for you. This is for you. You know what I'm saying? This is for you. And if this is your first time too, so I want you to try this out so you know if this is for you or not. But if you're coming back, obviously, you know what I'm saying? But I also have other people that are coming back for other reasons too. And just so you know, if this is your first time, that's when you could see me going a little bit random here, you know what I'm saying, here and there. Talk my shit, I talk to the universe. You know what I'm saying? But I also try to make it fair, you know what I'm saying? I'll make sure that, everybody get theirs. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, you coming back, you already know. Like I always tell you guys, man, this is a blessing for me. This is life. This is a calling. This is rewarding in itself for me. And just to have the opportunity to talk about this too, man. Like sometimes, listen, man. Let me talk my shit for a second. I'm like, yo, man, why are you so good looking? Oh shit! I mean, that's my makeup, guys. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I'm conceited. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But don't get this fucked up, though. Everything I'm referring here, though, has nothing to do with physicality here. What I'm referring to is in terms of even to talk about this. To talk, to have, this is a privilege to me, if you're asking me. To have that connection, to be able to help others, truly helping others. You know what I'm saying? That's how I hold the mirror of wisdom. Like, there's nothing in what I'm saying here for you to follow me. Like, master, I have a question, or you know what I'm saying? Like, there's none of that. I mean, I understand you should, as you should, because you know what I'm saying. I mean, we are feeding each other. Like, we are connected. So definitely, fuck yeah. I mean, I put another upload. Shit, nigga, you better check that shit out. But I'm saying all of that to say, not out of, just for pure understanding, for your elevation. And just like anything else, the minute it's no longer serving you, you gotta drop it like it's hot, baby. just gotta drop it like it's hot, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, you thank them that I mean, we appreciate or whatever experiences that you're going through too. How is it helping you? But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. We're not even here for that. So all I wanted to tell you guys is how much you coming back. Mm, mm, you already know. So I'll do this for you. So now, as part of my routine, you coming back. You already know, but I'm gonna keep it short though. I'm gonna keep it short. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna make sure that we get to what we need to talk to. But sometimes spirit takes me in all different other spots, and I just go along with it because sometimes certain things have to be said. Although I may already have something in mind, and then sometimes spirit takes it on a whole other level. It is what it is. I understand. It's part of the assignment, so bear with me for a second. But I'm gonna keep this one short though. I'll do my best. All right. So, as part of my routine, obviously, as a spiritual healer, spirituality is my backbone. It's what I use. It's my reference for me to even talk to you right now. And that was also my reference for me to elevate myself. So I always like to take a minute just to, introduce you to it a little bit so you understand, what spirituality is. Because obviously, if you're listening to a spiritual healer, well, shit, that's, what the fuck? All right, so, but before I even get into it, let's talk about some of the misconception of what spirituality is. One of the ones is that most people look at it as a belief system, meaning this is my belief, this is your belief. So it's almost like they're kind of like using religion, to sort of like label spirituality. Obviously, that's not the case. Well, I don't know how obvious it is to you, I should say, but let me just say that is not the case, right? Because your belief system, this is part of spirituality, because spirituality address the differences in your beliefs. So that's not a problem, because when you truly understand what spirituality is, when you get to break down the word too, just so you guys know, the spirit, and then it's talking about the reality of spirit. So this is your reality. So one of the main thing that, let's just say, one of the things that you would learn in spirituality is that I would tell you, you act like your God. That is not a belief system. All this is referring to, when I look at all the different beliefs, they all act like they're gods. If I become a 7-day Adventist now, my reality changed because of my belief. And then my God, the way of looking at God also, will be in accordance to that. Just like if I'm Muslim, Jesus don't mean shit to me. And vice versa too. If I was Christian, Muhammad means nothing to me. In fact, I'm gonna show you verses in my Bible that shows you why fuck these motherfuckers. And fuck you too. In fact, you need to follow me. So these are things that you can see. I'm thinking that you probably have at some point seen that. So it is not a belief system. It's not me believing in Jesus and you believing in that, and then no. This is me having a greater understanding of those different circumstances. Now, the biggest misconception that people have about spirituality is that they always feel like it's something that's outside of them. So first you have a belief system, and then you have something that's outside of you, or it's not, it's them right there. Like when you see the Buddhist, you tend to call that spirituality, or you tend to call them spiritual too. I mean, in so many ways they are, but so are you. But they are spiritual because they acknowledge who they are, their energy, their chakras. They understand, there is more than to them than dick and pussy. Like a guy like me, I knew there was more to me, even as a child, as a kid. I wanted to know more about Christ. I wanted to, that urge that I had. So deeply inside of me, I knew I was more than what I looked like, or even what other people were talking about. And guess what? You couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me nothing. Man, y'all, I hit the ground, I started running. I was not messing around at all. As a very young kid, like 7, 8, nigga, like whatever, 9, 10, I don't even fucking know. I wanted to know about God, nigga. The fuck? I was not playing around at all. Do you see what I'm saying? And again, without me getting a little bit too way ahead of myself here, I mean, obviously this is part 2 of, what was the fucking title? I'm wildin'. What was the title? Shit, hold up, guys. I'm truly wildin'. Now, but you see, this is what I'm talking about sometimes, being in the spirit. Now, for real though, like, you just, like, yeah, I know this is part 2 of something. Don't worry, I'm gonna look it up now and let you know. Shit. And this is also why you just gotta let spirit do what it does. You feel me? The Judas situation. Do you see what I had to do? I know you're like, all right, good luck, motherfucker. And this is the motherfucker you choose to listen to. Don't worry, I got you, though. I got you. Don't worry about it. Don't let that fool you. I got you. So the Judas situation, this is going to be part 2. But the reason why I was saying this is because, okay, this is the connection that I'm making. Right? Because, no, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's just take it. Okay, let's just step 1. The Judas situation part 2. Now, going back to spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Going back to, the way that a lot of us, we don't see how it relates to us. And it really comes down to because you don't know who you are. And regardless of what part of the planet that you came from, when you really get to break down who we are, how we operate, it's all mental. This is not a belief system that as a man thinketh, so he is. And this is what I'm dealing with. This is what spirituality is to me. So therefore, that is your regular life. Now, going back to the monks or all of these other motherfuckers, and of course, yes, they are spiritual too. That doesn't mean that you don't have it in you. It means that you have to find it in you. This is where you have to acknowledge it. This is part of the awakening. You knowing who you are. So, with all of that being said, you know what I'm saying? No wonder why motherfuckers can see how spirituality relate to them. I got it. That's why we call it. You can see it out of ignorance. So spirituality is your life. You want to change your life, change your thinking, not just a thought or just your pattern, your level of understanding, your vision. So spirituality is truly your life. Now, the flip side of spirituality, or on the flip side of it, you have something called the occult. Those sacred texts that you see the whole everything that's been taking place in this world, all the documentations, all the different wonders of the world, all of that really comes down to us knowing who we are and learning about who we are. That's why your only fucking job is for you to know who the fuck you are. And then now you have manuals, what we call our ancestors, people who are predecessors. I mean, I don't know if that's the right term. I mean, I don't recall. But anyway, people who actually came before us, right? And then they have realized what I am now sharing with you. What they realized, I had to wake up to that, and then we're passing it down. But that also goes to show you this is a personal work. That's why, regardless of what you say, you cannot improve the world. I don't give a fuck. That's why we say you want to make a world a better place. Well, make you better. Because that's all you can do. Then other things now you can do is to influence, to project who you are onto others. That's why even you as a parent, your job is to help your kid to be who they are. Do you see how this is all connected? You know, those monuments that we're learning, all of these things about, I mean, come on, man, like, it's all about life. And even us going through life experiences, it's us becoming conscious, it's us learning. This is why God is needed in your life. This is why spirituality, and then when we talk about God, I mean, it's not just a thing. You know, God is everything of the spirit. It's energy, it's everything. The sooner you understand that, and or once you understand that, and guess what? That's what makes us better too as a person. Because through God, you get to have your integrity. You get to love. You get to open up your heart. That's why a true spiritual motherfucker is a good human being. Truly a good human being. But yet, we don't take pleasure in it, meaning, you know, we're just being. That's why the true ethical motherfuckers doesn't mean that, you know, I know for me, like, even when I talk about fucking integrity, it doesn't mean, you know, I didn't have time where I had to compromise. I mean, no, I mean, yes, it happens. But in terms of my character, shit, nigga, shit, I work for corporate America. I can't talk about the shit I'm talking about now. Well, I can. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm making the transition. Fuck these motherfuckers. Let me just be me. But what I'm trying to tell you is, because I have a job, that doesn't mean I don't have my integrity. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all part of obviously, so much so, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Because I have integrity. And in fact, I'm looking to convert that over. So I'm saying all of that to say, it's not even about fucking perfection in terms of not being flawless, but it's what you're being led by. And that's why, and this is where God plays a big part in your life. That's why we need God, and hopefully as God need us. So these are the things that spirituality are addressing. And this is from that state of mind that I am standing before you, speaking to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to be honest with you, motherfuckers. But most importantly, helping you to understand where I'm coming from, too. Do you see what I'm saying? So, spirituality is not outside of you. What's taking place is that, it helps you to get to know you. This is why, if I'm going back to when I was talking about the occult, which is another part of spirituality, which is now dealing with those what I call those sacred texts, right? Or there's always something secret or mysterious about these things. You know what I'm saying? The hermetic, what else? You know what I'm saying? The hidden culture, the occult. It's always give you that feel. But the reason why this is giving you the feel is for you to understand that this type of knowledge that I'm telling you now is that you gotta look beyond what you look like. For instance, some of the basic shit that the occult will teach you is that you have a subconscious mind. It's helping you to be conscious of the things, that you don't see. Even when we talk about chakras, show me your chakra, motherfucker. I mean, you could tell me your third eye is here, you can feel it too, but all I'm trying to say is, would you even know if they didn't tell you this is your third eye? But even, why will make that even a third eye? Which is the only eye, the real eye. Oh, no, I don't have it here. Which is, you know what I'm saying? It goes by many different names too. Shit. I just can't recall any of them right now. Leo, sometimes I'll be on that type of time too. I guess I'm channeling too. Anyway. So. Because through that eye, you can receive light, energy. And when we're talking about energy, guess what? Downloads, revelations, messages. As for me, being a psychic and a medium, that's what it allows you. So you become very sensitive. Now, my senses, or you know what I'm saying? Or, when I talk about my senses, to me, they're on a whole other level. My seeing things. But anyway, I don't need to go there. I'm saying that to say this. It's your life. But most importantly, and this is why, although I do take the time to talk about spirituality, and I'm already talking about spirituality any fucking way, you see, what we're doing is delving into us. It's your fucking life. Now, dealing with those sacred texts, the occult, is helping you now. Those are the manuals that would now that's helping you. That type of knowledge that helps you now to to acknowledge the things that you didn't see. That's why you're dealing with a dark culture, but not dark in the sense of evil and all that shit. And hopefully too, I hope you guys know, what I'm saying, like there's different levels when you say dark, light, whatever the fuck, right? And dark is not as bad as you guys think it is. Just like I was saying, well, in one of my recordings, I was just explaining to you guys how, what I'm saying, if you step into, what I'm saying, if it's too bright, you're not gonna see. And if it's too dark, you're not gonna see neither. But what's gonna happen is, but if you let it dawn down on you, Then when you in the light, there's a little bit of darkness that comes in now. That's how you're able to see. Now, if you're in the darkness, and then there's gonna be a little bit of light, that's how you're gonna be able to see. See, this is not philosophy, man. This is not a belief system. This is a matter of tapping into it. This is a level of understanding. That's why we talk about consciousness. You gotta live it. You gotta see it. You gotta understand it for you. So now that we got that out of the way, so spirituality is you. So I'm speaking from having a broader understanding of our nature. That's truly what I was trying to tell you. I just wanted to be fancy with it. You know what I'm saying? And ain't no shame in my game. You know what I'm saying? I look good. You know what I'm saying? I look good, nigga. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. So now, here we are. We're about to delve into the conversation that we came here to do. Now, last night I had this one recording where we talked about the Judas situation. Now, if you're watching this now, I strongly recommend that you watch part one because there was a lot of foundation that I had to lay. Meaning there was a lot of some prerequisite understanding that was needed to talk about. In fact, as I was talking about it, because I didn't have any plan to make a part two of it, then I realized, oh shit, for me to really get into this one, I needed to talk about that first and then to this. So that's what I'm saying, and I do recommend that you check out part one. But I'll give you a summary of part one anyway. How you like that? I know, still check out part one, motherfucker. But anyway, because there's a lot of other shit I went off. I mean, there could be other things you may want to hear too. So, anyway, the Judas situation. So, one of the things that I was talking about, and what I wanted people to understand is that Judas been looked at from different angles. I can't recall if it's Matthew, if it's Luke, but they all look at him from different perspective. And I'm gonna label them just now. If you know which one is it, it's good for you. But ultimately, I'm saying this for a reason. Keep that in mind, right? You have a Buddha that's being considered as, is greedy. It was greed. It was the money, wanted to earn money. So what I'm saying, he betrayed Jesus. But nevertheless, one of the biggest thing was, he betrayed Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So you couldn't trust him. So you have that aspect. Then you have another aspect of him too that says he was fulfilling the prophecy. So that means anybody could have done it. And when you look at it from that perspective, being greedy at this point doesn't really matter. Because, and this is what people don't understand, right? And let me just open this up and I'm going to close it right after, right? So, keep in mind I speak for the whole universe, right? So you had a couple people. And just to not to go too much into my background, but anyway, to make a long story short, because this shit's coming out. It's coming out now. So anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that to say, right? What the fuck was I gonna say? I knew what I was gonna say, but Spirit told me to chill. Relax. Okay. So, but anyway, going back now to Judah, right? So then, when you see if it's fulfilling the fucking prophecy, that means the prophecy somebody got to do it. You understand what I'm saying? So I was saying that to say this is the only part that I'm gonna say. Right? So you had a couple people that went and into my Akashic record, and then what they didn't know is what they learned about my Akashic record was their downfall. How is my fortune becomes your misfortune? Do you see what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it there. But also, the other thing I wanted to mention is when he's fulfilling the prophecy, that's why nobody, what Jah bless, no man can curse. So you going to read my Akashic record, and you know the answer, and you're putting yourself in front of me. Well, good luck. Now you're gonna see why the Akashic record said what they said. But if you don't see it, you're gonna feel it. Either way, you're still gonna get it. Mhm. So you think you can trick the universe? Wow. Oh, wow. I mean, all right. Hey, who knows? You let me know how that works out for you. But for me, all I know is I flow with the universe. But anyway, but going back to all of that, I'm saying, if you're saying Judah was fulfilling the prophecy, well, it had to happen some way. But there's also another part of it too. There's the political motives. When I watch the movies, you know what I'm saying? There's some a little bit of political motive. It's almost like the movies were showing you. You know what? Like when he betrayed Jesus, it wasn't. I mean, he betrayed him because he had something else in mind. Not necessarily for the money. Yes, he got the money too, but he wanted Jesus to save us. Which one of the fucking books talks about it that way? But anyway, I mean, do you get the gist too? Anyway, I'm just holding it up. I'm just trying to hold it up for you to see. And certain things, you gotta see for yourself. But anyway, anything you're gonna have to see for yourself, even when I say it to you. Because the truth, we all gotta wake up to it. Again, going back to our nature, spirit, we all listen. See, this is where I'm helping you to realize who you are. That state of awakening. You know what I'm saying? It's to tap into that life within the life. That's what makes it the elixir of life. That's what makes it for the living. Anyway, let me calm down. I'm getting hot in here. I'm getting hot in here. Okay, I heard that. I heard that. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, let me take the time, to salute my motherfucking ancestors. You know what I'm saying? As, the amount of love I've been getting, man. The support is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? Them letting me know the love that they have for me. Like, this shit is crazy, bro. Crazy in a fucking good way. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. But anyway. Salute to these motherfuckers. I heard you. That was a little, internal jokes between me and them. I got them too, because, they just asked me for something. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. So I got you. I got you, love man. Anyway, so perspective that I choose to look at, or to display in part one when it comes to Judah was, I guess you could say, I'm saying, the political motives, right? I mean, but I also was trying to show you how when Jesus was sent to the, and just so you guys know too, because I'm using this story to make a bigger point. You see, all those stories, Buddha means to wake up. Jesus, from Jesus the Nazareth, who became Jesus Christ, all of those stories are guidelines. I want you guys to understand this. Only when you understand that there are guidelines, there are manuals, can you truly take advantage of them. That's truly what this conversation is all about. And as you understand that being the guidelines, then now you choose or you look for that archetype. What does it mean? What is the message? What does the 12 disciples mean if this is a guidelines? What does even Buddha, being part of the 12 disciples, that Jesus even chose to be part of him, means? Then I think you might be onto something if you start to look at it from that perspective. Because now it's asking a little more of you. It's asking your understanding. It's asking your practicality, because that now, how do you incorporate that into your life? See, the Jesus story, this is a representation of anybody. Who the fuck do you know who had elevated in life? Malcolm X, this nigga was a pimp. Anybody and everybody, well, I wasn't no pimp or anything. You know what I'm saying? But what this is showing you is that at some point we have to awaken. It's the journey that we had to go through. It's what we had to acknowledge and wake up to. So obviously, the Malcolm X story is not the Jesus story, right? Because I don't know his background too. I mean, because you can't make that change. He probably had the urge, you know what I'm saying? But then you got lost through translations. I know it had happened to me, you know what I'm saying? Then I had to realign myself. It's almost like, at one point, I was delving so hard into the whole spirituality shit, getting to know myself, and then there was a moment where, you know what I'm saying, then, you had to, kind of like, I don't know, life. But true life is that, though. But by life, it's really lost. And then you had to realign. I had to realign myself. That's the trial and tribulations. But anyway, I don't know the brother's story. That's why I'm saying it that way. But ultimately, the Christ figure, what that represents, you know what I'm saying? It's anyone and anybody had that urge, and it's showing you the guidelines on what you're going to go through and what your journey is going to be like. This is a story to support you. When you look at the Joseph story, it's anybody. Joseph is not just Joseph in the Bible. In fact, shit, nigga, I'm Joseph. If you want to say that. Well, shit, I go by so many different names. Even the name that they created for me, I'm going to make it famous. You see the Bud name that they gave me? Man, it's going to be the most talked about and the most remembered. So again, this is how God works too. That's why they tell you God works in mysterious ways. Do you realize, and just like I was talking about, I had one of my recordings where I was talking about, do you see anybody who followed Christ? You had to carry your cross. Your spiritual development is not your physical comfort. So that's what that story is showing you. And now you're going to have to deal with the justice system. So having Jesus, and ironically, I kind of went through it myself. You know what I'm saying? So making a long story short, our people lied on me. They do what they do. We're not even gonna waste too much time because this shit, it's over. Now, shit. Anyway, don't worry how I know. They all want to know how I know. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm on you though. But anyway, it's just showing you. You know what I'm saying? Even the religious system, they showing you how the religious system, looked at Jesus. Who do you think you are? Now, if you were to use this same exact thing in today's world, if I were to tell you you got to be Jesus, what the fuck would you tell me? So how would you blame these people who were just like you, looking at another motherfucker who just like them, telling them he's the son of God? Get the fuck out of here. Unless if you are of the same thing that he is. That's when other people didn't judge him. They knew he was truly the son of God. That goes to show you too, this is another one too. That's why a fisherman can see another one from afar. And I was saying that to let you guys know you have to understand your reality. What those stories are actually depicting. And of course, you can't, that's why I was saying this, you got to check out that fucking recording, man. I was definitely going in. Because I was trying to let you know you can't take it, even if it did take place historically, you can't just look at it from that historical perspective. Because even historically, there were other things that was also taking place. But as the story's being told, do you see what I'm saying? Like, okay, what's the difference? Obviously, I'm not a fisherman. But the Bible says, a fisherman recognizes another from afar. But now, what I could tell you though, is real recognize real. Do you see how these are the same thing without being the same thing? In the former statement, I'm referring to certain things, that, I'm saying, that, some specifics. The latter, I'm also referring to specifics, but it's the consciousness. It's the understanding. That's why you can't just look at it for face value. Or just look at it from a fucking historical perspective. And also, that's what it means when they tell you there's nothing new under the sun. But yet, nigga, are you serious? There's a bunch of fucking things new under the sun. Don't you have a Bluetooth now? Was the Egyptians using Bluetooth? They had computers? How is that not new? But yet, there's nothing new. You gotta understand what that means. Just like another example, check out that other one, man. You're gonna need it. I talked about hunting and work. Our ancestors used to go and hunt. That's why, for you to be truthful, for me to be myself, or to know the truth, I don't have to dress up like those fucking Egyptian motherfuckers. But what I do have to do is to acknowledge the understanding that they had. That's why I'm not gonna dress up like them, but there's certain things that they did I also do too. Like I have statues all around my house. Come on, man. And of course, I wear certain things for reasons. Yeah, because I got it. I understand what that means. Follow me for a minute. But anyway, this is, you got to check out part one. You got to check out part one because although I'm trying to summarize it for you, I'm not doing it justice. But let me just go ahead. I mean, let me keep going. So, so we touch on that. That was pretty much the foundation to help you understand, that those stories are guidelines that all of us we have to carry our own fucking cross. Anybody who's going through, your divinity, your divine elevation, that's what you're gonna have to deal with. From the justice perspective, from whatever the fuck. Let me tell you something. I when I was going through my undergrad, I never forgot that. I met this chick, and she was going through pre-law at that time, and I was, into my spirituality, and of course, I was still going to college. And I remember we were talking. Okay, let me just make a long story short. I'm gonna make that even shorter. Can you imagine? I found people telling me that I don't care about my environment. I don't care about my community. Because let's just say, like, voting, that's not my thing. I vote for me, nigga. I'm running for president. Not even running. I'm already elected. Fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Fuck are you talking about? But they're saying this because, they think they are highly invested into the community and the type of work that they're doing and the effect that it has. They don't even understand what they are involved in. First of all, how can you be for anyone and anybody when you choose to have a one-side perspective? How do you vote for either a fucking Democrat or a Republican when they have a one-side perspective? They don't see the big picture. You ask me, how do I know that? Well, to see the big picture, you got to look at it from a Democratic perspective and a fucking Republican perspective. Are you telling me there's no good shit about fucking Democrat? Or are you telling me there's no good shit about Republican? And if they are, how do you choose one side? Why not you going for the good shit? Do you see what I'm saying? So who the fuck are you voting for? I don't see anybody worth it in according to my involvement in my community. In my community, I'm not referring to black or fucking Caribbean community. The point that I'm saying is in the world that I'm living in. So it's a matter of fucking perspective. So again, but adopting that divine reasoning now will put you on a whole other level. And that's what those stories are showing you. They're trying to tell you God's way is not men's way. Well, what does that mean? Exactly. See, the people say they're fighting for you. If they fighting for you, what the fuck am I talking about here? Well, obviously, I'm not fighting for you. I have already fought the fight for myself. But shit, I'm bringing this to you. So, if you really want to get down to it, I mean, yeah, I mean, they may help you in certain ways, but the true help is gonna come from you. So, who cares more about the people? Do you see what I'm saying? But for you to see that, that's when it would take for you to be of what I'm of too. Because us, the true spiritual people, we truly care. I mean, shit, nigga. Look at the message. It speaks for itself. That's why I tell niggas, this is the society you want me to be part of? This is a society that you're proud of. This is a society like you what? I Anyway, like the way I'm feeling now, it's like when Jesus went into that fucking temple. Are you fucking serious? Come on, man. But check out part one, man. And I also talk to you, and then I broke down the whole fucking a fake justice system, man. That's what you're fighting for? Are these the people you want to be recognized by? This is crazy. And obviously, you gotta be crazy. I mean, even for you to do it, that's one, and not for fucking to understand it neither. I mean, shit, it can't get no crazier than that. And then, oh shit, call me crazy, nigga. And then, is it you that's calling me crazy I'm supposed to worry about? Is this the craziness that I'm supposed to somehow, you know what I'm saying, wanting to be recognized by the Joneses? Is that it? Come on, man. Let me know. Break it down for me. Is that your society that you're fighting for? You trash, man. You trash. That's why anybody who's been anybody talks to you about your own elevation. I go by divine authorities. But anyway, the whole Jesus shit, I mean, I got a little bit carried away, obviously. But it's just the dumb shit that you hear people say. I mean, because the logic is not logic enough. And, those are the things where I go like, okay, shit, nigga, you got me. I'm just this a pathetic like son of a bitch who uses curses words and who curses out, and yeah, that's what you got out of all of this. You got me. You know what I'm saying, man? Fuck you and your society, motherfucker. Fuck you and your society. Fuck you and your society. I fuck with the divine, nigga. Fuck you again. I wanted to let it be known. Fuck you and your society. Fuck you again. But anyway, just had to get that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta let niggas know sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Shit, my job. Listen, man. But anyway, going back for you to understand the whole guidelines. That's what you see in Buddha, the meditation state. He had to go through meditation to obtain his highest level of consciousness. And the actual meditation, what that means is he had to go beyond knowledge, beyond logic, to tap into it. Do you notice the similarities? They both had to be under a tree. Jesus was speaking to the tree. And knowledge is represented as a tree. Showing you this path, man, listen, you got to carry your own cross. It's not a physical comfort shit. It's your elevation. And that's why you see these people, they always elevate through what? Their trials and tribulations. And ironically, this is the way God works. It's through your pain. Joseph, you know the story. Oh shit, nigga. My story's coming out. You're gonna find out too. Hey man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, that's the price we all gotta pay for what we do. And every prophet or anybody, whatever, that's what it is. So the story of Jesus is a guideline, niggas, to help you understand. Anybody who's walking that that path. Did I say laugh? Okay, that path. I'm tripping. Who's walking that path? That's what's gonna happen to you. And this is why all of these different aspects of Jesus can be seen as what is called an archetype. Meaning that particular instance represents something. That's why Buddha represents something. Peter represents something. The 12 disciples represent something. The whole Jesus story to begin with represents something. You see, when you don't look at the story from that perspective, it's not beneficial to you. How is it helping you? But your interpretation of it is somehow to believe in something that's outside of you. And then in the meantime, there's no transformation taking place in you. That's why talking about Jesus means nothing until Jesus isn't actually in your life. Then now when you talk about it, of course, I mean shit, talk your shit. You already live in it. Of course, talk your shit. I'm not mad at that. But I also understand the difference when you're not walking the path and then you're talking about it. So when Jesus is being presented to the justice system now, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They couldn't find nothing in him. They said, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was a part of the Bible. Listen, don't fucking ask me what verse it was because it's been a minute and I don't remember. Okay? But there was a part where I don't know, but back in the days, I knew, because I'm like, when I read it, I'm like, Jesus didn't have no kids. You know what I'm saying? They called CPS on Jesus. I'm like, what? What verse of the Bible is that? Who was Jesus fucking? I said, who the fuck was Jesus fucking? But hey, man, tomatoes. You know what I'm saying? The gossiping, the lying. I mean, it comes with it, baby. But don't you have a motherfucking fear? That's what those scriptures are there to serve you. Or we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and we fear no evil. In fact, we know our miracle is through the fire. So when you throw me to nigga, I'm walking through it willingly. I hope you get this, man. If you do, that's your blessing. You welcome. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? You know, teach another. Each one teach one. You hear me? If you get this, make sure you know what I'm saying, you support somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because this is literally it's a wild world, man. This is the wilderness, man. Think about it. Why is it in an age where people have more access to knowledge and we tend to be crazier than fucking ever? You know, what that means is it was never about the knowledge to begin with. It was all about you. And what we're doing is that's why, regardless of how far we may think we are from each other, but we're really close. And regardless of how close we could feel that we are to someone else, and then we're very far. Do you see it? Like certain things cannot be said in words, man. You just gotta catch that. You gotta tap into that. Because what I'm saying without saying is what's gonna allow you, you know what I'm saying, to get what I'm saying. I know I'm fucking you up. I'm fucking you up. I know. I got you. Do you see what I'm saying? So Jesus was sent to Pilate. This nigga couldn't find anything. Hey man, I know you motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? This is those people that goes to him. Those religious people. You know what I'm saying? They call the CPS. They do what they do. They call me crazy. They call me all kinds of names, man. Just to lose. Let that marinate. But anyway. So what was the other guy Jesus was sent to? Was it Herod? No, it was motherfucking Herod. Is Pilate? Nah, was it sent to Herod first? Because I'm a little bit puzzled. I'm thinking about there was a Herod that, you know, his wife requested John the Baptist had whatever the fuck. Anyway, it don't matter. You get the picture. I mean, I hope you get the picture, right? And the judge system couldn't do anything, man. Again, due to political motives. And that's what those lawmakers are doing today. Which one? Pick one. Is it Obama? Is it which one? Now, Kamala Harris now is telling you about these streets. I guess there's just no motives there. Hey, a nigga like you. Those are guidelines, my friend. Those are guidelines. That's the higher message here. Like, fuck what I was going to talk about before. I mean, although, like, what I was talking, I mean, it leads to that too, but, you know, shit, nigga, relax. That was my shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm just having a conversation with me. But ultimately, that's the point I would want you to get. It's a guideline. Those political motives, you know what I'm saying? You hearing it today, the lobbyist or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to do with your personal development. Nothing truly to do with you being a good person. For you to truly help one another, to have compassion. That's why the justice system is always going to be the justice system. I mean, it's always going to be what they are. Do you see what I'm saying? Then now you have to, look for criminals and shit. What I'm trying to do here, my work here, is to, oh shit, the niggas, I mean, I can't help these niggas neither. So they gotta go to jail. Because these motherfuckers, some motherfuckers you cannot help. That's why this now, you have to wake up to. That's why I'm holding the mirror to help you to open up your heart. Only by you opening up your heart can you receive the knowledge. Can you grow too? Otherwise, it don't matter. True transformation takes place in your heart. If your heart is broken, like, you know what I'm saying? And that you gotta have a, you know what I'm saying, like, hey, again, all comes down to how you're looking at it. But going back to the whole archetype, how these are there for you, the guidelines, the the Joseph story, I'm pretty sure a lot of, not just myself, a lot of other people can relate to. Being the black sheep of your family. There's a reason why when the Bible tells you no prophet is recognized in his own country, that is a guideline to show you in your life, as you're going to go through what you're going to go through, no prophet is recognized in his own country. God damn it, niggas. How else do you want me to dumb it down for you, baby? I'm doing my best here, man. Work with me, man. What the fuck? And this, my friend, is the reason why spirituality is a practical thing. When we tell you to to know what you're thinking of, to be aware of your thoughts, your knowledge, your vision, because this is reality. Your vision creates your reality. And this is the wilderness. I wanted to go back to that to make that point, because everybody got to wake up to it, man. It's wild out here. Not just because of the wild shit that people are doing, but even when it comes to knowledge. Although the books are out there, who's reading them? You got to have the urge. That's why a guy like me could come here, and I don't even do book recommendations. But listen, if you're not, this is your life. If you don't take care of you, who will? That's why your consciousness, it's your business. Certain things, like, I can't even believe that I'm saying it, but okay, it needed to be said. Like, that's your business, man. Don't you want to be smart? But if you don't have that urge, or you don't understand, or, to make yourself better, or for you to make yourself better, you only look at it from an external perspective, because you don't see the other side of you, oh shit, ignorance, man. That's why you have to wake up to the truth yourself. That's why only you can save you. Not even Jesus. And that's why Jesus tell you too, you have to accept him. So ironically, this nigga's telling you, you know what? I can save you if you want me to. What does that mean? So it's you, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's you. It's you. Only you can save you. Meaning when you're willing to accept Jesus or whatever the fuck that you do. That's why you have to wake up to the truth. So now going back, I mean shit. You know what I'm saying? The Judas shit. I mean, because ultimately what I truly wanted to tell you guys is not just about the archetype, what he represented in terms of the justice, and you get to see the political motives, and you're looking at all these things. And I could show you how these are taking place right here, right now in front of you. You know what I'm saying? That's what the people want. That's what they do. In these streets. In these streets. You feel me? Kamala, I feel you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Now okay, you missing just one thing. You're doing good so far. Now you just need to say nigga. You never know. I might vote for you. Right here, baby. I got you right here. And I'm not saying this to say that to her. Trump. You know what I'm saying? But now this nigga though, I gotta say this nigga's on a whole different other level too though. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I was getting a fucking unemployment with those things, you know what I'm saying? You handle business. Maybe I wouldn't do this to you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna do this to you. Do you get it, people? It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's you. And your life. Now, I do get it. Let's just say if you're paying more, you're paying less taxes. Can it help you in your life, personal life? Fuck yeah. You know what I'm saying? Less taxes help you, man. Of course. Of course. That's a little shit. Extra $10. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can spend more. Maybe it's a little extra $10 for you to spend more. But when it really comes down to you, man, that's your life. You gotta handle that, baby. You know what I'm saying? Either if it's your investment, whatever the fuck, that's yours. It's you, man. I mean, can they, you know what I'm saying, help to what you have in mind? Yeah, for sure. For sure. Because this is all part of the infrastructure. It's all part of this game. Do you see what I'm saying? It's all part of this life. But see, this is where you also, it's important for you to acknowledge the different levels of life too. Do you see what I'm saying? Because when we're talking about the matrix, right? A lot of people always talk about, anyway, everybody have their own, like, for me, the matrix it's how, it's your material understanding of this world. In other words, it's your ignorance. But anyway, let me go back. Let me circle back. I could go to. Okay. So now we're talking about, you know what I'm saying, Judas, right? You know, we talked about the justice system. Check out part 1, man. I talked a whole bunch of bullshit on that one. But anyway, so but the biggest lesson here is that those stories are guidelines. That's the biggest takeaway here. And if you understand that, then Judas now, the betrayal, what this is referring to, bear with me for a second. It's really the material world. It's the human justice. Like I said, like you all know, whatever justice we're saying this is the best system in the world, a lot of people goes to jail without. Listen, man, I'm not blaming nobody. I'm just trying to get you to see the reflection here. And also at the same time telling you why you should be seeking divine authorities, but also divine justice too. Now here's the thing with divine justice. Okay? That's why I want you to understand those guidelines. Let me say it again. That's why I want you to understand the guidelines, right? Because those guidelines. Ooh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Was I about to sneeze? Okay. I got it. I mean, I may have to sneeze in the middle of it, but hey, anyway, it is what it is. What that is talking about. What the fuck was I saying? Yeah, the sneeze shit. Okay. So, no. Okay. So, the whole Buddha thing, what is that? I mean, in human justice. And again, this is, now we're talking about the divine justice. Man, you saw Moses. You saw what they had to go through, the back and forth. You see Jesus even, shit. And just so you guys know too. Well, you know what? Let me write it down. I just got something. No, that's not for you motherfuckers. It's not for you motherfuckers. That is not for you motherfuckers. What the fuck? Hold on. Come back to me, Shay. Come back to me. Yeah. I need to go back to that. But that was something for me, though. So, those are guidelines to show you, even those guys, what is it? Herod and Pilate, in that story, they were not even friends. But to fuck Jesus over, you know how that go. Now for me in my story, you know what I'm saying, baby mama, and then this bitch, and then the so-called mother. Listen, man, oh man. Hold up. Okay, now we good. So, man, God works in mysterious ways. Yo, you know what I'm saying? I was listening to Wyclef. I mean, side notes, and then he was saying how he came up with the song 911. You know, he was taking his shit. God works in mysterious ways. But anyway, and it's funny how I got this download as I'm talking to this, and then that's a whole other thing that I was meditating on, and then I got the answer now. But anyway, those are your guidelines. These two fuckers became friends just to fuck the Christ over. Not knowing this is what they didn't know. It's what kills me and makes me stronger. Because they wanted to kill me. So these people, they play, and this is why I gotta honor them. Not honoring in the sense for me to be their friends. And this is what a lot of people don't understand when they tell you to honor your father and your mother and your father. This is not saying that you have to follow their path. In fact, if you're following their path, you're not following your own path. I mean, the only way for you to follow their path if it's somehow related to your own path. That's how it goes. But anyway, and everything works out for me. They throw me in the water thinking that I was gonna drown. I mean, drown. Shit, nigga, I'm swimming with sharks. So, the moral of the story is these motherfuckers, just when they thought I was an easy prey, they were my prey. And there was one of them who thinks she was gonna take the lie with her to her coffin. Now, sweetie, you're taking the truth with you in your coffin. What you're gonna realize now is that, and God works in mysterious ways. It's always the thing that you know you have under control. When you're doing fucked up shit and then you know you got it under control, that's when you don't. The people who truly got shit under control is the people that has no control over it. Free game, baby. This is on the house, and this is what you're gonna get when you come here. Shit. I mean, it speaks for itself. Like they say, if your path is already it's already somehow there's already a path in your path. That's not your path, bro. Your path, man, there's no trail in front of you, nigga. You gonna live, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna live a trail for others. They ain't living no trail for you when this is your path, nigga. Now, you could see other people's trails, you could see, yeah, but yours is gonna be yours. And that was one of my favorite lines too, when I saw that motherfucking Denzel movie, Training Day. When that nigga told Denzel, man, everybody gotta put their own work over here, man. I don't know what the fuck do you think this is, homie? You know what I'm saying? In these streets, man. Hey! In these streets, everybody gotta put in their own work, man. There's no victims. There's no people to be caring for you, to feel sorry for you. Nah, nigga. You put on your work. We all gotta, we bear our own fruit, man. We all do. I'm saying, I mean, you could bitch all you want. You could bitch all you want, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gotta have to put in their own work over here, man. And that goes for everybody. So going back to the whole, for you to understand those mythologies and what role they play in your life, just like I was talking about the Judas situation. And most people look at it from a betrayal perspective, which you know what I'm saying, like, which is good. There's nothing wrong with that. Or greedy, or even what was the other thing? Fulfilling God's prophecy. See, and even from that perspective, when you look at it from that way, like I'm saying, it is what it is. And this is why too, when you adopt the divine reasoning or Godhead mentality, and that's why I've been trying to tell you guys, you know what I'm saying, the idea of even looking at this world as not being perfect in terms of flawlessness, it's crazy. It's literally crazy because you're saying something that you're not living. You're saying something that does not exist. You living in your. I mean, if anything, you motherfuckers who don't understand that the book is there for you, then now you're living in your mind. And that's what you do now by creating a God that does not even. You talk about a God that's not helping you. If anything, well, I mean, shit, that's fucking you up. But yet you feel good about it. It's socially accepted. And of course, that's why people go to church. It's a good thing. It ain't no personal salvation shit. You see what I'm saying? It's a good thing. You get a pass. This is your badge. You're good people. This is the society you want me to be part of? Well, better yet, let me rephrase this. Is that the society that you are part of and that you feel like you are the shit? Wow. You may have to do some realignment. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of eye opening here, buddy. Hey, buddy. Well, thank you for saving me, buddy. You're making the world a better place, buddy. Thank you for your vote. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you. So again, what we're talking about here is a whole different thing. See, this is being of the spirit. That now you understand you're dealing with God reasoning, God consciousness. And it is a practical thing. And what makes it, this is the real justice too. What makes it the real justice, although it may take time. I mean, that type of justice, here's something too I need to let you guys know. Now, if you're looking for a just due, that may take times. And you shouldn't even be looking for that. That's why the divine justice is on the spot. I got you. It's on the spot. Because when you go through your pain, it doesn't make you bitter. Because already you are of the divine, meaning you got the lesson. You did not focus on the pain. Now, you had to feel the pain to get the lesson. But it's not a suffering thing. That's why you can't serve two gods. That's why you have people who learn from life lessons, and then you have people who are complaining about shit that happens. In other words, you had victimizers versus people who are thriving. Are you being sorry for yourself, or you are acknowledging yourself? Which one is it? Or are you cherishing yourself? Let me tell you, if you're looking at the trend, anybody who has ever done anything great, they cherish who they are. So much so, they talk about God even if they don't want to say that they're God. But what they're truly saying, and I could hear that shit, they can't fool me. is that it is so them that they had given their life to God. And when you do, of course you're gonna thrive. I mean, you're gonna try. I mean, triumph. I mean, that's the only option. That's why God is your elevation, but not God as in let you say Buddha, not God as in Jesus in technical term that you guys use, but in terms of the bigger picture. Because believe it or not, it's not just that. Because you're dealing with fucking, huh? Listen, man, there's a lot more to this world than what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? And there are other beings too. What do you think your guides are? Why would Jesus come here to save you? And now he lives in a whole other world. And then he's making room in his father's house in another world for you to come in. And then he has to come here to come get you to bring you back in that world. Do you get it? This is actual transformation. This is a personal, like, this is a practical matter. All right. Let's change things around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We gotta change things around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do what we do here, man, and stop playing. Okay? Let's do things a little bit different here. Okay. Bow. Feel me? Let's do what we do here. Mm-hmm. Right. So, this is needed right here. You know what I'm saying? Man, this conversation I can't really have with you guys yet. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? You got, hey, man. I mean, shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to process this first. So, again, it could be seen from different angles, but the idea, the point here, is that it could also be seen as an archetype. And what an archetype simply means is like it's a representation of something. If that makes any sense. Well, that's the best way I could dumb it down. So as you go through your journey, my friend, and this is why I'm here to serve you, the one who's putting in the work, the one who's about his or her elevation, the devoted ones, the true Illuminati, I work for you, the bright ones. You know what I'm saying? You might be a little bit shaky right now, but you have that urge. Oh, this is for you, baby. This is for you. You may have been a little bit puzzled. I mean, you hear it, but you don't understand it, or you hear it, but it's not making sense. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is for you. And this is why too, like just like I always use this fucking example, and I think this is probably the best example I could use in this particular instance, right? Well, now that I know my background, I mean shit. I was told I was born in 81, right? So that makes me a little bit of an 80s and the 90s babies. You know what I'm saying? Being born in the 80s and being raised in the 90s. So that also means I got to enjoy some of the songs, as a kid in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? We get the vibe, you know what I'm saying? We got to get down on it. Oh shit, I was getting way down on it, nigga. And I was in Haiti too, nigga. Shit. Shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. But anyway. I'm saying that to say, well, depending on who's watching, right? If you're 80s, I mean, or if you know anything about the 80s and the 90s, they were very similar, although they are not the same. Very similar, kind of like the mid 90s, and then things started to change or whatever the fuck. Or I'm saying that this is what I'm truly trying to say is you can't solve any issues in the 90s, although they were so close to the 80s, by using the 80s solution to solve whatever the fuck is in the 90s. So what we're truly saying here in general is that regardless of how similar two things may be, when it comes down to consciousness, that's why you gotta be conscious. Consciousness will make the difference. Like, even when I was going back to, let's just say, me dressing up like the fucking Egyptians, and of course, me saying fucking, not in the sense of fuck these motherfuckers, but it's also making a differences between them and me, but also there's no difference. Neither. You know what I'm saying? But knowing the truth, that's how I know there's no differences. But I would also be a fool, let's just say, if I were to be like, I'm not using a fucking computer in this age. You know how these natural motherfuckers be on. And I don't mean to call them that way, and this is not personal neither. I call everybody motherfuckers anyway. But, almost like they think for them to reproduce a true life, they have to go, you know what I'm saying? They have to recreate. I mean, it's not recreating the circumstances of what was in the past, but it's to truly understand what was taking place. That's why if you truly understand what was really taking place, then politics is still the same. It's all bullshit. It's just, you know what I'm saying, we're going to give the people what they like for me to get what I want. Then you see that in the Jesus story? And how long ago was that? And just to give you something to tie it up to you, you know what I'm saying? Are you in these streets? They're not like us. I'm just waiting for that bitch to say nigga. I mean, shit. And if you say that, shit, you never know. That shit, you might even change my mind, bitch. just saying, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, us niggas out here, we gotta do what we gotta do. Cameron, I'm waiting on you, baby. You know what I'm saying? You just a word away from my vote, bitch. I'm just waiting for you to say nigga. You know what I'm saying? Not nigger neither. I only said nigga. Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what. You don't have to say nigga. Just say yeah. They're not like us, them yams. They're like, what? Excuse me, Vice President? Nah, I was yams. Is that the society you want me to be part of? These are you the I mean, I'm trying to find the right word here. Like your proud self. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, man. You guys are full of it. Yeah, that's really what being full of shit is. But anyway. Those mythologies, those stories, are your guidelines. The Judas, again, situation is also telling you too not to put your faith into the human justice. Because just because, you know what I'm saying? Just because, you know what I'm saying? Educational purposes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit. I work for the divine. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I know what it comes with anyway. You know what I'm saying? So now, random. Some side shit, right? So these motherfuckers, you already know. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, no, we're not gonna go there. It's all good. It's your guidelines, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I tell somebody not to read the Bibles? You know what I'm saying? But if you're not gonna get what you're reading, I mean, I don't even. Should you read it? I'm asking you now. I'm asking you. Alright, it's all good. This is my best emoji, man. Like, I think I'm gonna come out. Yo, I'm gonna work on something where I'm gonna be like that fucking emoji, like that bitch right there. I love that shit. When she does that, it's almost like, hey man, I'm right in the center. Like, it's you. That's what the bitch is saying. Like, what that got to do? What that has to do with me? You know what I'm saying? I didn't forge no documentations. That had to do with me. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't hoeing overnight. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no STDs or AIDS. What that got to do? My life. What's your life got to do with my life, dog? Huh? Oh, I get it. You love my life, don't you? It's mine, nigga. You like take me out and live my life? You wouldn't be able to neither. You don't have the inspiration that I got. You could steal my shit here, but I gotta keep producing shit. Like, why don't you produce? Let me see what you gotta talk about. You know what I'm saying? Now, for you, I would suggest, hey man, like you suck dicks. Like, you could show motherfuckers how to suck dicks. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a market for it. And every wife, you know what I'm saying, they gotta learn how to suck dicks. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm saying just know your lanes. You know that? Just know your lane, man. You know your lane, you good. You know what I'm saying? If not, well, shit, you lame. And you will be blamed. You already know. Mm, I don't know, man. I feel like there's a lot of death around me. You know what I'm saying? That's what they wanted. They look for it. They seek for it. That's what they wanted. But what they didn't know is they didn't know they wanted that for themselves. They thought they wanted that for me. You can't make decisions for me. You know, I mean, well, I guess you tried. Can you? Uh, let's see. You know what I'm saying? You never see people that thought they had control over you. You know what I'm saying? But that's how God's work, though. He's got to let you think you got it until you don't. Then you realize you never had shit in control. Delusional. I get it. And that is the foundation of their demise. What that shit got to do with me? That shit got nothing to do with me, bro. It's almost like that I have no feelings. Like, how do I feel? Like, there's no feelings involved. I can tell you how I feel. There's no feelings. What is there for me to feel? Other people's action? What that has to do with me? Especially when you know, and Jay-Z, I guess, said it. I'm referring to him because he said it, but we all know it. You know, niggas that can't do shit tell you that you can't do it. You see what I'm saying? And this is where, too, you need to acknowledge that. This is what they say. This is where they are with it. Okay. Alright. You are entitled to jail. To death. That's what you're entitled to. I want you to look at this face here. You ain't entitled to none of this. Alright, well, I'm still around. Maybe I'm not learning my lessons yet, right? Well, go harder. I want you to go harder. Go harder. Anyway, they not like us. You know what I'm saying? They're not in the streets. Like, they thought they were in the streets. Like, how you gonna be in the streets? You're afraid to go to prison. Where all niggas that been in the streets went to jail, nigga. What's up? But anyway, I mean, it was worth mentioning because this is bigger than what I'm addressing here. This is for you also to understand, as I'm talking about the Jesus life, what you're going to go through and how it's going to translate into your life in this life. Because that's the idea. You cannot use, when I talked about the 80s and the 90s, some fucking historical Jesus to fix your life now. You have to get the energy, the understanding. That's what's going to help you. Are you a fisherman? Well, how would you recognize another fisherman? Exactly. That's my point. But if you're keeping it real, though, you'll know a fisherman when you see it. Let that marinate, man. Let it marinate. You see the difference? Anyway, like it has to be said that way so you could pick up what you need to pick up. Because sometimes saying it clear, like let's say it's not, you know what I'm saying? You just, come on, man. You see me? Some things you just gotta see for yourself. And that's what I'm helping you to do. Those are guidelines. The Jesus story represents anybody who's walking their path. And that's what you're gonna go through, my friend. Oh, you're gonna go through the betrayal. Be strong. Hey, listen, don't worry about them. Yo, stick to the plot. Don't worry about them. They can't touch you. Now, I'm referring in term of the story. But if you're living in according to that story, now here's I want you to listen to this carefully. Then you will know that they cannot touch you. Not because of that story now. You'll know. Don't worry about it. As you go through it, and when you go through it, you know what I'm saying? If you somehow bump into this video, you're welcome. Don't worry about it. I'm here to serve you, my friend. I'm doing my work. And ultimately you get to realize we all play different position in helping each other. You know what I'm saying? Now with me now, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, you getting the what we call in French, le crème de la crème. Le crème de la crème. See, a lot of you niggas be saying cream of the cream or crème de la crème. No, it's important for you to understand le crème de la crème. Oh, that's saying a whole lot of shit. Do you see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like saying when you find the beauty inside of you, and then it brings out the beauty, the outer beauty. So that's le crème de la crème, the outer beauty that people are looking at, but they don't understand. Le crème. This is nigga. It's on the house. So next time you tell a motherfucker you're the crème de la crème, then now you know exactly what you're saying to them. You know what I'm saying? Not just the good quality, but the good quality that it requires quality to acknowledge the quality. Do you see what I'm saying? To the pure, all is pure. But it requires for you to be pure. But anyway, essentially, when it comes down to the whole Judas situation, because it's getting late, let me summarize it real quick. What that story really telling you, man, you gotta put your heart in divine authorities. And that's what you see Jesus did. If you were of my kingdom, or if I was in my kingdom, however the fuck he said it, I can't recall. You know what I'm saying? His angels would have been there, whatever the fuck. And then you saw that nigga too struggling before he went there too. And this is all playing into, you know, as you walk in your path. I know for me, man, I had to stand under that tree You know, I had many talks with my ancestors, man. You know, some of my niggas, because I have direct relationship with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, niggas, what's up, dog? You know, man. I know y'all niggas looking out, but god damn. hmm And then, as you already know, God did not answer Jesus, and He did answer Jesus too. But nigga, you already know. That's what God said. That's what you that they forgot to put that in the Bible. I had to rewrite that Bible. You know that? I was just say, hey, nigga, you already know. The nigga said, shit, man, you right. You know what I'm saying? I already know. Well, it is your purpose. Your purpose it is. You know, so to speak, but which is our my purpose too. Because that's why I'm here. Wasn't that why Jesus came here? You know what I'm saying? So that moment was to show you his vulnerability. Your bitch assness, however the fuck you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we all as shit. I went through mine, nigga. Trust me. Like, God damn, nigga. Like, God, what's up, my niggas? You know what I'm saying? But they got the higher, they see things on a higher perspective. So that's why for me, then I had to adopt their fucking perspective. And that's what you saw Jesus did when Jesus, even though, you know what I'm saying, when they said he was fighting, he became a man, you know, to embrace the weakness. Niggas, do you get it? But yet, as a God, God's will is, hey, nigga, man, let me put myself together. It is what it is. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how I was able to come back from the dead. Listen, I'm giving you how I was able to. Again, these are your guidelines. So the whole Jesus, fuck Buddha, fuck Judas or Peter, Paul, whoever the fuck. What it really comes down to is how that story is relating to you. How you making that story. How do you? This is your guidelines. And so, if it is your guidelines, how is it guiding you? Talk to me, Ray Way. Wait. Talk to me, babe. Tell me how you feel. You love me. I love you more. Show it to you. Don't worry about your love. You already show it to me. Your love is heartfelt. Let me return the favor. I'm a man of my word. I don't think they understand what's coming. It is what it is. Again. But to go back to our conversations, and all of this will probably make sense to you too when, in due time. This is the divine timing too. That's a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a motherfucker. A wise woman told me once, whenever you encounter the divine, they tell you certain things, and then you know it's gonna be done. Just forget about it. And it's true. You know what has to be done? Forget about it, man. Stick to you. Listen, man. Listen. This is history in the making. You get to see it like at first glance. This is your first look. I don't think you understand. When you see certain things and you understand, you see the order of things. You know what I'm saying? You can see the energy and then you see how, okay, it's playing out. Listen, man, you definitely in for a ride. Mm? So, ultimately, what it comes down to, and I'm gonna summarize it from here, guys. Those stories are your guidelines. You need to understand the meaning of those archetypes for you to benefit from that story. From Peter, from the disciples, from everything, from Jesus itself. How would you, a nigga would just, well, I mean, if you don't want to call him a nigga, like just, I guess being a spiritual person, I wouldn't be saying nigga, right? I don't give a fuck. So, you would imagine, like, listen, man, guys, the thing we're doing here is helping you to cope with reality. Not even cope, to thrive. But how do you thrive reality if you don't accept reality? It's not going to happen. But yet again, accepting reality requires for you to know you. I mean, it's a vicious cycle, if you want to put it that way. It is. It all circles back to you. Why? You are the way. Even when you are in your own way. Hold up, I just got another download. Shit. They got me fucked up. Yo, they got me all the way fucked up. All the way fucked up. To a point where it's not even a fight. It's not even a fight. That's how fucked up they got me. Where I'm just watching these motherfuckers fighting themselves. Now here's the kicker. That's why it's good for you to know who you are, because ultimately, what it really comes down to is people doing shit, projecting shit on you, and hoping that you do what they're projecting on you. That's exactly what it is. But when you find you, send me more. I told this niggas, man, send me more. You ain't got enough. Not enough. Not enough. All right, it's been years now, right? Has it not been years? Well, give me more. I mean, obviously, you're not convinced. Do more. It's not even fair, man. It's not even fair. But I guess the fairness of it is you, what you're doing to you. I mean, it's not fair you doing it to you, but it's also fair because you're the one doing it to you. So, hey, you see what I'm saying? But anyway, those are guidelines, man. The Jesus story is your story. You know, as a child looking for God, went into the synagogue, questioning, you know, the ones. Come on, man. I did all that, just so you guys know. I did everything that book said. I remember talking to pastors and having certain questions, you know, because, you know, I just wanted to know. Nigga said, yeah, you, this little nigga here, you know what I'm saying? You talk too much. I talk too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, shit, nigga, you can't tell me nothing. I mean, shit, you can't tell me nothing. You could try. Alright? That's okay. Y'all keep trying. Why not keep trying? But anyway, understand this. Ultimately, that story really comes down to putting your faith in divine authorities. Now, to go back to what I was saying, and I'm going to shut it down here, right? So when we're talking about divine, I mean, you should know. You saw Moses. How long did it take for Moses to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that part. Abraham, yeah, that part. The mysterious ways that people are telling you that God's work is in the impossible. That's why for me, I always remain calm. And when I see the impossible, believe it or not, I'm like, there's something in it. Tell me nothing, nigga. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Literally, too. Again, when you know, you know. And having a certain relationship with your ancestors too, man. I hope you do. Listen, man, that's something else. I mean, it's. I was gonna say good and bad, but it's really good. The bad part, I mean, I know for me, it was just like it was for Jesus. Like, nigga, really? And we're like, yo, yeah, really, nigga, what's up? God damn it. Okay, man. Shit. Fuck it. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I tell these niggas, how do you sacrifice? How are you trying to sacrifice me when I have already sacrificed myself to the divine? You late. Way too late. You late when you even try it. That's when you are late. But anyway, the divine justice is going to be your true justice. Now, here's a way that the divine justice works, and then that allows you, as you're going through the process, to know that you are justified. Because you're already getting the lesson, so you're already justified as you're going through it. In other words, you are purifying your existence. shit, nigga, you getting all free games. But anyway, let me stop it there. I mean here because it's getting late. But most importantly, I wanted to get together and I mean I don't know, man. I'm feeling fucking energetic and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna drop them back to back, back to back. You know what I'm saying? I want the people who's using my yo. Listen, you got more material coming. More material for you to use, for you to make money, and ironically, for you to kill yourself. Because this is what this is doing to you, but you don't get it. Have at it. Have at it. You know what I'm saying? Do more. I mean, there's honestly no way out. I mean, doing more is not going to help you, but it may make you feel better as you doing what you as you're going down. You know what I'm saying? If that makes you feel better as you, I mean, shit. Look at your life. You know what I'm saying, isn't that what you wanted for me? Hmm. Okay, okay, okay. It is what it is. But anyway, we're not gonna make no argument on that. You know what I'm saying? That's what. Hey, 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 hey. Hey. That's what I tell them. Hey, 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 hey. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave it here, man. I mean, I hope you guys get the underlying message here because the biggest lesson is for you to understand that those stories are your guidelines. And I've used different type of story, and that's why I recommend you to see part one, because part two, truly, I mean, that's what we're talking about here. I mean, although I wanted to give you a different perspective on that Judah situation, which I have in part one in so many ways. I mean, part two, I mean, shit, two, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, it comes down to you, your interaction with those messages, and for you to understand that those are your guidelines. You're gonna be just fine. So we're gonna leave it here. I sent Mali. We out of here. You hear me? Be good, man. Always remember, man, for you to be you, nobody else can be around. You hear me? Nobody else can be around. If you're gonna be you, nobody else is around. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a stand up. You by yourself, baby. It's your show. You know what I'm saying? It's your show. Nobody else's but yours. I want you to remember that. So, with all that being said, I love you. You know, from the moon and back. I mean, from the universe and back. Shit, this is how much I love you, and I travel all around to come right back to you. From my heart to you, and this is already my fucking reward, man. I'm good. Don't worry about me. Love yourself.